Our next segment is Film Profile, and we are going to talk about a very special person who has volunteered in Afghanistan and who was actually killed there. And with us here in the studio is Mr. Rob Werner. Thank you for coming and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Dr. Jerry Umanos served at the Lawndale Christian Health Clinic for 25 years before volunteering in Afghanistan. So here today we're going to talk about a little bit of his story. Rob, could you tell us a little bit more about how you and Dr. Jerry first came to know each other?
Well, I guess that probably would have been in the mid-90s. My wife started working at Lawndale Christian Health Center in 1993, and Jerry had already been there for a few years. He was the first pediatrician there, and he was he's just a colorful personality, so everyone knew Jerry and got to know him over the years. I ended up working there as well, and so we got to know each other over the years from working together.
So what brought him to Afghanistan? I understand that you worked together in Afghanistan as well.
2005, my family decided to move over to Afghanistan just for, we weren't sure for how long. And Jerry actually approached me and said he had been thinking about going somewhere like that himself. And so when we moved over in 2005, that September is right actually when Hurricane Katrina hit. His wife Jan and he flew over with us and let us use their bags to bring our stuff over, spent a few weeks with us kind of checking things out where we were going to be that first year, and then shortly thereafter decided to come themselves, so they moved over in 2006. So initially he volunteered in a provincial public hospital up in Mazar-i-Sharif. They helped train the pediatric residents, the doctors there.
This is really taking volunteerism to an entirely new level. What do you think has inspired Jerry to go and help people out there?
I think for him it was very much an issue of his faith. He felt like this was something that he needed to do and needed to be serious about. And I think going to Afghanistan for him was just taking that to a new level. I mean, he had a remarkable commitment to helping serve with health care to people who had few options. The child mortality in Afghanistan was up to 250 per thousand. So 1 in 4 children died before the age of 5. And there were so few doctors, let alone pediatricians. And so Jerry not only brought a great depth of knowledge, but also just a very strong ability to connect cross-culturally, work in a challenging environment.
I'm sure there are a few healthcare professionals and doctors, Donna, that are listening to this and are very inspired by this story and by your friend's story. What do you think the message would be for them? What's the call to action for them?
So much money has been spent in Afghanistan, and it's not that hard for in many cases to bring financial resources, but often what's lacking are willing people who are willing to say, in the face of risks to their personal safety, their comfort they would experience, whatever else, who are willing to say, I'm willing to sacrifice some of those things and go and give of myself, give my knowledge, give my experience.
What do you think is Jerry's best legacy?
I don't know how to answer that question almost. I mean, the children and the doctors he trained, the students he mentored, the other, that is such a long list if you had to come up with Jerry's legacy. I mean, even in my own life, I'm so honored to even have been his friend. He was an amazing man.
Well, thank you, Rob, for joining us and
Yes,
sharing
thank
with
you
us
so
this
much.
inspiring story. Well, friends, there you have it. Dr. Jerry Umanos for our Film Profile, truly a Filipino-American hero.